So we have over 500, over $500 million. We just said the legislature, you can do what you want to do. We are doing the first responder payments out of the relief funds, and we're putting a lot of federal relief funds into various infrastructure projects. So I think we had, what do we have, about $3 billion, $3.5? We had about $3.5 billion coming in, although they haven't given us that money yet, have they? You know, when they did this, they said, first of all, they said if you have low unemployment, you get less money. High unemployment, you get more money beyond just your population. So we got a lot less, for example, per capita than New York and California. But then not only they say that, but they said if your unemployment's low, we're only going to give you half of it this year, and you get the other half next spring, whereas at the high unemployment, they got 100% of it right off the bat. So, yeah, so we're going to end up having, I think it's about $3.4 billion. Most of that is infrastructure, transportation, and then retention payments. Yes, sir.
Governor, to that point, I would like you to sort of comment on, you kind of almost have the best of both worlds, don't you? You pursued your anti-lockdown, the economy recovered, you get to take in the extra money due to that. On the same time, the Democratic Congress gave you all this billions that you've been able to offset, you've been able to use it in different ways, including the checks. I guess the point is that would you consider yourself kind of fortunate that you've been able to get all this money from at the same time?
But I would tell you, but I mean, I think you'd have to acknowledge we got the short end of the stick compared to these other states. That's just the reality. They treated Florida worse and other states worse as a result of the fact that we had kids in school and had people employed. And so you got much better results in terms of the amount of money you were getting if you had pursued those other policies. And so that's just the reality. Now, I remember at the beginning that some people said, oh, you know, it's too, and it is too much spending, but they're like, you should just give it back. You read that law, it goes to Janet Yellen, and then she sends it to other states. It doesn't go to do the debt. So what I said is, look, whatever's out there, I'm going to make use of it for the state of Florida. But I would also just point out, I mean, the federal government helped drive a lot of the disruptions that we saw. I mean, I go back to March of 2020. If they had not done 15 days to slow the spread, I mean, the week before that, I think some of you may have been there, I was down at Port Everglades with the vice president and the CDC director. March of 2020, they're saying, you know, if you're elderly, maybe not go on a cruise, but there was no talk of doing all this. And then all of a sudden, things changed very, very quickly. And I think it obviously caused a lot of problems. So, but we're going to absolutely, regardless of what is done in Washington, regardless of whether it is wise or not, I'm absolutely going to fight for Florida across the board on all of that stuff.